Did you know that over 1.5 billion pigs are raised each year globally, with pork being the most consumed meat in the world? Get ready to step inside the world of modern pig farming and high-tech meat processing, a world where precision, scale, and innovation come together in ways you'd never expect. From climate-controlled mega barns to robotic butchering lines, today's pig industry is more advanced and more massive than ever. This isn't just farming, it's next-level food production. Let's take a closer look. When it comes to large-scale pig farming, it's big business in countries like China, the United States, Brazil, and parts of Europe, especially Spain and Germany. In fact, some mega farms can house tens of thousands of pigs, but on average, a commercial pig farm might raise anywhere from 1,000 to 5,000 pigs at a time. That's a whole lot of oinks. As for how they're raised, there are generally three main systems. Indoor farming, where pigs are kept in climate-controlled barns. Outdoor systems, which are more natural but less common. And hybrid or mixed systems, combining indoor shelter with outdoor access. Indoor pig barns these days are seriously high-tech. We're not talking about your grandpa's pigsty anymore. The floors are often covered with straw or soft bedding over solid or slatted ground to keep the pigs comfy and clean. Ventilation is a big deal too, so you'll find giant fans keeping the air fresh and cool, and sometimes even misting or fogging systems to control temperature and humidity. On hotter days, water spraying systems help pigs chill out prior. And let's not forget the poop. Modern barns often have smart waste management systems that collect and recycle pig manure into biogas or organic fertilizer. So yep, pig farming is messy, but with the right setup, it's also pretty smart and sustainable. Feeding pigs today is all about balance and precision. While they might chew on straw for fun, their main diet is usually pelleted feed packed with grains, protein, and nutrients tailored to their age and growth stage. Some farms even use automated systems to deliver just the right amount at the right time. It's smart, efficient, and keeps those pigs growing strong. Most pigs on modern farms are bred through artificial insemination, and no, it's not just for science fiction. It's actually safer, more efficient, and allows farmers to use high-quality genetics from top boars around the world. After birth, piglets are moved to cozy, warm nursery pens called farrowing crates or brood pens, where they're carefully monitored. Within just a few days, they get vaccines to boost their immunity. Their ears are notched for identification, and each one gets a quick health check to ensure they're off to a strong start. Piglets are raised for about 5 to 6 months before they're ready to leave the farm. By then, they usually weigh around 100 to 120 kilograms. During this time, they're fed well, kept in clean, comfy barns, and monitored closely to stay healthy. Once they hit the right weight and meet health standards, they're considered fit for market. From there, they're typically transported to processing facilities. But some might go to breeding farms or be sold to other growers depending on their quality and genetics. After pigs are slaughtered, they go through a process called scalding and dehairing to remove the hair, followed by evisceration, where internal organs are carefully removed. Then, the carcass is split lengthwise into two halves. This makes handling, chilling, and further processing much easier. And in modern slaughterhouses, guess what? It's all done by machines. Specialized equipment like automatic carcass splitters, dehairing machines, and evisceration lines take care of each step with speed and precision. Next up, the meat cutting machines take over with impressive precision. On fully automated lines, high-speed circular or rotating saw blades slice the carcass into major parts like hams, bellies, and ribs. Then comes the real star, the bone removal machine. Equipped with advanced shape-scanning sensors and flexible saw blades, it maps out the exact contour of each meat cut and glides along the bones with stunning accuracy, deboning a whole section in just 5 seconds. It's fast, clean, and seriously cool modern butchering at its finest. Some pork processing plants go a step further by pre-processing the raw meat, grinding it, slicing it into smaller portions, or trimming it into ready-to-cook cuts. This makes it super convenient for households to use straight out of the package. Besides fresh cuts, many pork processing plants also produce a variety of cooked or cured products like juicy pork sausages, savory hams, bacon, and salted or smoked pork. These are made by seasoning, curing, or cooking the meat through methods like boiling, smoking, or steaming. It's all about adding flavor, extending shelf life, and creating ready-to-eat options that people love. Pork is incredibly versatile and shows up in cuisines all over the world, from crispy pork belly in Chinese dishes, juicy schnitzels in Germany, smoky BBQ ribs in the US, to tender pork adobo in the Philippines. It can be roasted, grilled, braised, stir-fried, stewed, cured, or turned into sausages, pâté, and even meatballs. The possibilities are endless. Nutritionally, pork is a great source of high-quality protein, B vitamins, zinc, and iron. When trimmed of excess fat, it's lean and nutrient-rich, making it not just tasty, but also a valuable part of a balanced diet across many cultures. If you're curious about other farming models or production processes, just drop a comment below. We'd love to hear what you're interested in. Creamy, crunchy, and packed with flavor, cashew nuts are loved across the globe. Over 3 million tons of raw cashews are harvested every year, And yet, each edible kernel must survive a complex, high-stakes process. From tropical farms to modern factories, join us as we uncover the incredible story behind the world's favorite buttery nut. Cashew nuts are loved worldwide for their rich, buttery flavor and natural sweetness. With a soft crunch and creamy texture, they're not just a snack, they're a culinary favorite. From desserts to plant-based milk, cashews are incredibly versatile. Whether roasted, salted, or blended, their unique taste adds depth and elegance to countless dishes around the globe. Over 3 million metric tons of raw cashew nuts are produced globally every year. Cashew trees thrive in tropical climates and are especially common in countries like Vietnam, India, and Ivory Coast, the top 3 producers in the world. They can grow up to 12 meters tall, blooming with bright red and yellow flowers that eventually form a very unusual fruit, the cashew apple. The cashew nut doesn't grow inside the fruit, but outside, hanging underneath like a strange, curved hook. At the bottom of the apple is the real treasure. The cashew nut, encased in a hard shell filled with a toxic oil that's so corrosive, it's used in making insecticides and brake pads. That's why cashews are never eaten raw. Harvesting cashews is done mostly by hand. Workers pick up ripe cashew apples that fall to the ground and detach the nut by hand. This stage is labor-intensive and requires careful handling to avoid damaging the shell. To separate the cashew nut from its outer shell, farmers often use mechanical shelling machines directly in the orchard. The machine applies controlled pressure to split the shell and release the raw nut. Next, the raw cashew nuts are dried either under the sun for 2-3 days. Farmers usually use large concrete yards, tarpaulins, or bamboo mats to ensure the nuts are kept clean and off the ground. This open space allows the nuts to receive plenty of direct sunlight, which helps reduce their moisture content naturally. Once dry, the nuts are collected in sacks and shipped to the processing factory. Once the dried cashew nuts arrive at the factory, the real transformation begins. The first step is steaming or roasting the nutsnot for flavor, but to soften the tough outer shell and neutralize the toxic oils inside. The nuts are loaded into large industrial drums and steamed under high pressure for several minutes. After steaming, the hot nuts are sent through cooling conveyors along moving belts that use fans or water mist to lower their temperature. Next comes preliminary screening. Nuts that are too small, broken, or underdeveloped are removed through a mechanical sifting process. Then comes one of the most delicate steps: removing the outer shell. Using specialized machines, each nut is carefully split to extract the inner kernel without breaking it. The challenge? To keep the nut whole and undamaged, because whole cashew kernels can be up to 3 times more valuable than broken pieces, and yet only about 25 to 30% make it out whole and undamaged. In fact, some large factories process over 100 tons of cashews every single day. That's more than 1 million individual nuts per hour. Each kernel is still wrapped in a thin, brown, papery skin. To remove it, the nuts are dried again in hot air ovens to make the skin brittle. Then they're fed into peeling machines that gently rub and blow away the skin using soft rollers and air pressure. Next, nuts are passed through color sorting machines to remove discolored or defective ones. To ensure top quality, workers perform a final manual check at illuminated sorting tables, examining each kernel by hand to make sure it's whole, clean, and visually appealing. Cashews are graded by size and quality into types like W240, W320, and W450, where W stands for white whole, the most valued kind. Large-scale cashew processing factories typically have a processing capacity ranging from 10,000 to 50,000 tons of raw cashew nuts per year. To prevent insects and ensure safety during storage, the nuts are fumigated in steam chambers for up to 10 days. The cashews are vacuum-sealed or nitrogen-packed to preserve their freshness and flavor. Once packed, the sealed products are passed through metal detectors and inspection systems to ensure there's no contamination before leaving the factory. Some cashews go through a second roasting process or oil roasted. Then they're seasoned with salt, honey, chili, or other flavors for snacking. These seasoned cashews are cooled, then packed into retail-friendly bags, cans, or glass jars ready to hit supermarket shelves worldwide. They're also used to make cashew milk a creamy, dairy-free alternative to cow's milk. Rich, creamy, and slightly sweet cashew milk is now a popular plant-based alternative used in coffee, smoothies, and even baking. From hand-picked harvests to high-tech processing, the journey of a cashew is long and delicate. Packed with protein, healthy fats, vitamins, and minerals, cashew nuts offer more than just flavor, they're a nutritious powerhouse. So the next time you enjoy a handful, remember the incredible story behind each bite. Did you know that the world consumes billions of salami slices every year? Behind every savory bite is a fascinating journey that starts not in the kitchen, but on the farm. From carefully raised pigs to expertly aged sausages, salami, trust us, you'll never look at that charcuterie board the same way again. Did you know that salami isn't just meat's ancient history with spice and attitude? This savory, air-dried sausage dates all the way back to ancient Rome and was once the go-to protein snack for European peasants because it could sit out at room temperature for weeks without blinking. Salami is made from a mix of meats like pork, beef, or even venison, seasoned with salt, spices, and fat, then fermented and dried until it develops that unmistakable bold flavor and sometimes even a funky, edible white mold coat. From Italy's Genoa salami to Spain's smoky chorizo and America's beloved pepperoni, each type brings its own flair. Oh, and fun fact, scientists have detected over 400 different aromas in dry fermented sausages. That's a whole perfume counter of meaty goodness. Pigs raised for salami don't just live anywhere, they've got their own cozy setup on the farm. Their barns are divided into separate sections like piggy neighborhoods, with each pen assigned to a group based on age or size. And these pens aren't just bare floors either. They're often lined with thick, comfy straw bedding, perfect for rooting around, napping, or just living their best pig lives. The straw helps keep things clean and cozy, especially during colder months. Farmers check on them daily to make sure they're healthy, well-fed, and not getting into any piggy squabbles. Most salami comes from classic white pig breeds because they've got just the right fat-to-meat ratio. But every now and then, things get fancy. That's when you'll see Duroc, Iberico, or even the woolly Mangalica pigs step into the spotlight. Their rich, marbled meat makes for some seriously premium salami that foodies go wild for. So what do these salami-bound pigs eat to get that perfect blend of tender meat and creamy fat? It's all about a balanced, high-quality diet. They're usually fed a mix of grains like corn, barley, and wheat. Sometimes even with extras like soybeans or bran, all chosen to build rich, marbled fat that makes salami melt in your mouth good. When they're around 9 to 12 months old, depending on the breed and the type of salami being made. But before that happens, each pig is weighed and inspected to make sure it hits the ideal size and fat ratio. When it comes to making salami, not just any pork will do, it's all about the right cuts and the perfect fat balance. The go-to parts are lean pork from the shoulder and leg, mixed with firm, high-quality fat like back fat or hard fat. That lean-to-fat ratio? Super important. Too much fat and your salami turns greasy. Too little and it's dry. And crumbly, nobody wants that. While pork is the star, some specialty salami might also include beef or even game meat for a unique twist. Once the fresh pork arrives from the slaughterhouse, it goes through a strict inspection process at the factory. We're talking freshness checks, hygiene standards, and even lab testing. It's time to get down to business boning and grinding. Skilled workers carefully debone the meat, making sure only the best cuts make it through. Then, it's off to the meat grinder. The lean meat and fat can be ground separately or together, depending on the recipe. And they're pushed through a grinder fitted with just the right size holes. That hole size isn't just a random choice, it plays a big role in the texture of the final salami. Smaller holes give you a smooth, fine salami, while larger ones create that rustic, chunky bite. Once the pork and fat are ground just right, it all heads into a big industrial mixer, basically a giant, high-powered salad bowl for meat. The ground mixture gets tossed with a blend of signature salami seasonings. Salt for curing, black pepper and garlic, maybe some smoky paprika, even a splash of red wine or a pinch of sugar to round out the flavor. But it's not just about taste. Important ingredients like nitrates or nitrites are added and shelf-stable, and starter cultures. Once the meat mixture is perfectly seasoned and blended, it's time to stuff it into casings, basically the salami's new outfit. These casings can be natural, like carefully cleaned animal intestines, or man-made ones like collagen or synthetic types, depending on the style of salami being made. In modern factories, this step is handled by automatic stuffing machines that are absolute pros at the job. They can stuff and pack the salami tightly and consistently. On day 1, the outer surface of the salami is gently dried and then smoked using oak or beech wood chips, giving it that subtle, earthy aroma. The salami stays in this pre-curing zone for about 7 days, soaking in the smoke and beginning its transformation. From there, it's moved to the next floor, where the serious business of fermentation and drying kicks off. In some recipes, the salami is gently heated to around 40 degrees Celsius to speed up fermentation and moisture loss. When it hits just the right acidity, the temperature may be briefly bumped up to 60 degrees Celsius to halt the fermentation, but don't worry, the salami isn't fully cooked. Now comes the second phase of maturation. The salami is taken into aging warehouses and sprayed with noble mold spores. Yep, mold the good kind. This fuzzy white coat adds a signature tangy flavor and protects the salami as it matures. After about 35 days, the mold is carefully brushed off by hand, and the salami continues to rest and develop its deep, complex flavor for at least another 70 days. After all that careful aging, the salami is finally ready for its grand finale. The matured bars are transferred to the slicing section, where things get precise. They're sliced into perfect rounds, weighed for accuracy, and vacuum-packed to lock in freshness. Whether it's pre-sliced or left whole, each salami is handled with care. The labeling and packaging are often done by hand to avoid damaging the delicate mold layer that adds so much to its flavor and character. Salami isn't just a snack, it's a culinary chameleon. You'll find it jazzing up everything from sandwiches and pizzas to charcuterie boards and party appetizers. It pairs beautifully with cheeses, veggies, olives, you name it. People even toss it into pasta sauces, frittatas, or other savory dishes for an extra hit of flavor. Nutritionally, salami is a decent source of protein and offers some important nutrients like B vitamins, iron, and zinc. But here's the catch. It's also high in fat and sodium, so nutritionists recommend enjoying it in moderation. Some people may even be allergic to the special mold that forms on the outside during aging